If you work in financial crime prevention, you probably know that when FATF publish a new country report, each recommendation is provided with a technical compliance and an effectiveness rating. In the next minutes, I'll share with you the latest FATF methodology used for assessing technical compliance. So let's jump right into today's video. Welcome to FinCrime Agent, my channel where every week I cover a different topic to boost your awareness about anti-money laundering and financial crime prevention. The technical compliance part of the FATF methodology is about how the specific requirements of the FATF recommendations are carried out. This includes the framework of laws, ways that are in place to enforce them, as well as the presence of the national relevant authorities. We should remember here that the technical compliance assessment doesn't include the particular criteria of the standards that are linked to effectiveness, as those are separately included under the effectiveness assessment. So let's see which are the ratings for assessing technical compliance that can be provided for each FATF recommendation. Compliant, used when there are no shortcomings. Largely compliant, used when there are only minor shortcomings. Partially compliant, used for moderate shortcomings, and non-compliant when there are major shortcomings. The non-applicable rate, this rating will be shown when a requirement does not apply due to structural, legal or institutional feature of a country. So for each FATF recommendations, evaluators should come to a decision about how much a country meets FATF standards. It's important to remember here that it's up to the country being evaluated to show that its AML-CTF systems is in line with the recommendation. When reviewing the level of compliance for each recommendation, the evaluators should not only look at whether laws and ways to enforce them are in line with the FATF recommendations, but also at whether the broader framework that is required to be compliant is actually in place. Let's now talk about the weighing element considered when assessing technical compliance. But before we do that, if you're finding interesting the content I'm presenting in this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the thumb up on this video to help the video spread more on YouTube. So thanks for doing that. Technical compliance weighing. So how evaluators manage to put a weighing when assessing technical compliance? First of all, not all the criteria used to evaluate each FATF recommendation are equally important, and the mathematical count of criteria assessed as met does not always necessarily reflect on how well each recommendation is followed. There is, of course, also a qualitative element to keep in mind. So when deciding how to rate each recommendation, evaluators should think about how important each requirement is in the context of that specific country. More specifically, it's recommended that evaluators look at the country's risk profile and other relevant information to figure out how pertinent identified issues actually are. Even if all the other criteria are met, there may be times when a single weakness is important enough to assign a non-compliance rating. So essentially the context element is key for evaluators to ensure the correct weighing is applied. So let's now see what happens when an issue is touching more than one recommendation. In several instances, the same underlying problem can have a ripple effect on how all the recommendations are evaluated. To make an example, if AML-CTF rules aren't applied to a certain kind of financial institution or the NFBP, it could change how all FATF recommendations that apply to financial institutions or the NFBPs are assessed. In these situations, while reviewing ratings, evaluators should take into account any deficiencies in the underlying criteria for each relevant recommendation and, if necessary, mark them clearly in the rating. So, to ensure clarity, when a shared underlying problem is applicable, it should be explicitly stated in the MER across all relevant recommendations. To close this overview on assessing technical compliance, I lastly want to highlight that the rating that is given under the latest methodology is not directly comparable with those ratings given under the old 2004 FATF methodology. This is due to the revision and consolidation of the FATF recommendations and special recommendations that were implemented in 2012, as well as the introduction of separate assessment for technical compliance and effectiveness. I'm going in fact to cover the FATF methodology for assessing the effectiveness in the next video, and I will leave you a link to the second part in the video description right below. So that's all for today. If you're finding valuable my content, press the thumb up and leave me a comment under this video. Also, check the description for useful links related to my research and to support me on patreon.com/fcagent. And lastly, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and until next time, see you soon.